I'm joined here today by Roxanne Modafferi, who's set to fight Barb Honchak at the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale. Roxanne, how are you?
I'm great. Feeling awesome. Just got back from training.
Yeah, glad to hear it. So one of the main places people know you from is the Ultimate Fighter, and obviously you're coming off your second stint off the Ultimate Fighter. How do you look back at your second one?
The second season was definitely better than the first one for me. I came in knowing what to expect, in better physical condition, less injuries, more skill, and I did better. So it was a better experience for me.
And so how did you deal with the show mentally? Obviously you had your first one and you kind of knew what to expect, but did you deal with it the way you thought you would?
I think so. Mentally, I knew what I needed to do to keep myself in shape. I knew my favorite training methods. I had a good conditioning routine given to me by my coach Lorenzo back home in Syndicate. So I just kind of implemented that alongside of, training with awesome coaches of Team Gaethje.
And it seems like the fans reacted. They really loved you on the show. It seems like you got a lot of love on social media and everything. What'd you make of the way the fans reacted?
I'm honored as always to have fans, support me and reach out and be very nice.
And so we do know towards the end of the show, I guess the finale, everything got a little crazy for you. Just how crazy was it in those final moments?
It was pretty crazy. I knew that I would be on the finale, so I was preparing for Barb, and I was pretty excited and also feeling pretty, I wouldn't say stressed, but I was feeling pressure, because that's a rematch 6 years in the making.
Yeah.
And then when I got the call, like the night before, Sajara, I got called at 2 a.m. and they told me Sajara wouldn't make the weight and would I fight Nico? And I thought, yeah, great. And I almost felt less pressure. At the same time, I felt more pressure, if that makes any sense. Emotionally less pressure, but in the long run, more pressure because it was a title fight. But I was in shape, and I was so excited for the chance. And it was a great fight.
And so, unfortunately, things didn't go exactly your way in the fight. What do you think went wrong for you?
Man, it's really hard to say. I have my opinions. Coach John has his opinions. Coach Capitan has his own opinions. It's just one of those things where, maybe I threw a knee. It could have knocked her out, but instead she caught it and took me down. I didn't want to hold her against the cage because everyone else had failed, and strategy-wise, that wasn't a good move for me, but maybe I could have gotten her down if I had done something else. So it's like one of those really close fights. She didn't move the way I thought she would move. But she's in the same boat. She wasn't training for me. So it was just one of those things, man. I tried as hard as I could, and she just got the decision.
And did you feel like the last minute call, did that have an effect on the fight, you feel?
Not really. I was in pretty good shape, and again, she's in the same boat where she wasn't really preparing for me. So.
And fighters always mention they learn more from a loss than they do a win. Do you feel like this was a big learning opportunity for you?
I don't believe that I learned more from a loss than from a win. I'd much rather have the win. I always look back and see what I did wrong and right, and even from a win, I've gone back and asked my coach some questions, and I've improved my game. But anyway, I have learned a lot in general. So, I've been working on secret stuff that I shan't reveal to you because I'm going to fight soon. But, right after the fight, I sat down with all my coaches and I talked about, jiu-jitsu-wise, wrestling-wise, striking-wise, physical conditioning-wise, what do I need to do to, go to the next level? And I've really been hardcore training, and for a while I didn't know when I was going to fight. So I was pretty much ready the whole time, ever since December, so I'm just, man, I can't wait to show you guys what I can do now. I'm so much better than I was 6 or 7 months ago.
And so we know that the women's flyweight division is still coming together. They're adding fighters. They're figuring out the rankings and everything. What do you make of the landscape of the division so far?
So I don't really like the rankings thing. I like that I'm in the top 10. But, for example, somebody beats somebody unranked and then suddenly goes up really high in the rankings, or somebody jumps divisions and beats somebody and it's suddenly number 2 or whatever. I don't even know. But I think that I'm really glad there are 3 divisions, Wait, are there 4 now? anyway, I'm glad there's a flyweight division now, and a lot of fighters are finding a better comfort level for their weight class. One of the cons in the past, people were saying that there weren't going to be enough flyweights, but there are plenty of flyweights. So I'm really happy there are lots of people to fight, and I can't wait to fight them all.
And so you are heading into a fight with Barb. What are your thoughts on her heading into this one?
I've been preparing for Barb for like a year. I'm just really excited. I know that I'm a better fighter than I was 7 years ago when I fought her. I think it could be fight of the night. We're both scrappy. We're both going to throw down. We're both well-rounded. I know she wants to fight me. It's great. We're excited. I'm excited. She's probably excited.
Hopefully. And so so this is a rematch, and two have fought before, but I'm sure you both evolved as fighters and everything. How do you look at this matchup? Do you think it's changed at all?
I don't really think it's changed. I think it's going to be just the same as what I predicted it before. I think I evolve especially quickly. I don't know how much she's evolved, but we shall see.
And so
hopefully I've evolved faster.
And so we haven't seen you since about early December, and you're returning in July. That would make about a 7-8 month layoff. Why such a long layoff?
That's a question for the matchmakers, because I've been asking for a long time. So it's their call, but it's all right.
Does it bother you at all? I mean, does that affect your preparation, or is it just an opportunity to just focus on sharpening your skills?
It bothers me. I'm 35, so I would like to fight as much as possible. And when I didn't know when I was fighting before, I'm doing extra cardio, I'm doing extra this and that, and I was getting really burned out. And I really wanted to do a jiu-jitsu tournament, but I couldn't stop focusing on MMA. Like, I had to stay focused. So then the minute I heard the actual date, I thought, all right, cool. So I quit doing strength and conditioning, and I started focusing on gi jiu-jitsu. And that was really nice. That was a really nice change of pace. So I was able to do a tournament. I won one match, lost one, lost the last one. So it could have been better, but at least I got to do it. So then now I'm refocusing back on MMA. So it's, but I know it's up to the UFC, and I'm really grateful to have the contract. I'm really grateful to have this opportunity. So I'm just going to make the best of the situation and be excited for the fight that's coming up now.
And so a very important question. I saw a little while ago on Twitter, you said you were anti-podcast. What's the story there? What's going on with that? I've never heard that before.
Well, so I've had a lot of experiences so I'm super busy, and a lot of people have stood me up or have been late, or the quality has been crappy. So I've been like really tired in my car, like on the way home, like trying to do a podcast, and they stood me up, or they're late, or it's just a really small one, and I'm not getting paid. Like, it's not appealing to me. I'd rather be sleeping.
Yeah, so it's not anti-podcast, like you're against all podcasts. It's more like against doing podcasts.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there have been some really nice ones, and people are nice, but I'd rather be sleeping.
Of course. And so we've said for this camp that you're training at Syndicate. Have you had a chance to check out the Performance Institute? I
have, yeah. They have great facilities there. I've started regularly doing the cold plunge, which is this like ice bath right next to the hot tub. So by soaking in the cold, like 45 degree water for 6 minutes or more, and then going into the hot tub, you're pretty much flushing your system and reducing inflammation, and it's really great for recovery. So I'm doing that, and there is a good strength and conditioning program and awesome, trainers there, but I prefer Lorenzo, who goes to Syndicate, so I have not been utilizing the trainers there.
And so have you gotten a chance to check out, I guess they make like every shake you can think of, every snack and stuff. Are you taking advantage of that?
No, because right after, so I wake up at like 4 a.m. I can't help it. My body just wakes up. So I eat breakfast at like 5, and then I finish training at 1. I feel like I'm dying inside. So I just like immediately off the mat, I just start wolfing down my food. I literally cannot wait half an hour to drive to the PI to get food. So it's just not in my routine to, eat there. But I've also heard that there's really great stuff there. So maybe someday I'll take advantage of it.
And so you are preparing for an opponent. Is this something you're working on? Is there anything you're working on specifically to get ready, or is this just like any other camp?
Yes, I have very specific things I'm working on, and but I can't tell you.
Yeah. And so just one more.
But whatever pretty much you saw in my last fight that I wasn't able to do, hopefully I will be able to do it now.
All right, and just one more for you. Obviously not giving anything away, but how do you see this fight playing out come July?
Man, I can see it going everywhere. I want to try to take her down. She'll probably want to try to take me down. We both like, striking. Well, I don't like striking, but I think it's going to be a brawl. I think it's going to be really exciting. I would like to debut some of my spinning attacks, but recently I've been taken down by them, so I'm trying to refine my Roxycopter and some other things. We'll see, though. I'm not going to push it this time. I have a request to the fans. I need advice on how I should weigh in, because I always used to dress up in some kind of costume for my Invicta weigh-ins, and now they won't let us. And last time I did the Vulcan peace sign, and I wore like a few socks that were weird, but they were Reebok socks, so I layered them. It was kind of goofy, but I need help. I need the fans to please give me advice, either on social media, Twitter, whatever, Instagram. What should I do for my weigh-ins?
Of course, hopefully we can get some requests, see if we can find anything exciting, but within the rules, of course.
Exactly.